All right, so lucky for getting started so late. This is a Lashawan Qadash class. I'm preaching officer at the job. Let me get a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Let me know if I'm coming in clear. The link is in the chat, so if you want to jump in, ask your questions, hit the link. And I'll bring you up. You can ask your questions. We're going to dive into some Hebrew. Like I always say, man, the most important part about learning the language is learning its characters, such as the alphabet and numbers. All right, learning all the rules and learning vocabulary. These are like the 3 most important processes to learn the language. Shalom, Trooper Amana Bayah. All right, the water. Okay. So, like I said, that's the process of learning any language. Learning the characters, learning the vocabulary, and learning the rules. And today we're gonna go over some more of the rules. You understand? So that we can use the vocabulary words, we can use the characters that we know to build sentences. All right. So today we're gonna go over future tense. Future tense sentence form.
Shalom, YAHANNA.
Peace. How about you? Y'all about to yourself at the floor, Jaheem. Going on with the water for joining. All right, else want to join? Feel free to hit the chat. If you got any questions, put them in the chat. So like hit the link in the chat if you trying to jump in, ask questions. or you can put them in the write your questions in the chat. What's going on, Jaheem? You got any questions?
Yeah. I got a question. How you say Satan or devil in Hebrew?
All right, so those are two different words.
Alright, I'll
All
use
right, so
select.
now go ahead.
Then I'll just use Satan.
All right, so Satan is Shaitan. All right, Shaitan.
So okay, I see.
This would be Shah, right? And then time would be. I'm not writing it left and right. I'm just I'm just putting it so that you know how to spell each part of this character. So, I mean, I guess it would be like that.
Come, sir.
Yeah, I'll just do it like this. This is how you would write it. Shah. Yeah. Shah. Time. That's Satan in Hebrew. That's the name of the angel Satan.
Come, sir. The water.
That's it. Now, let's put that over here. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, so I figured. So in the word devil, right, it doesn't appear in the Old Testament, right? I think the first time it's ever mentioned is in the New Testament. If you go to the BLD, if you go to like Matthew 4:1, it's the first instance of that word being used. And I believe it's Diablios or Diabolos, which means slanderer or slanderous or false accuser, liar. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Maybe if I type in liar,
It's like it,
yeah.
sir.
So,
I
right.
don't need the word devil. Say Shaitan. It's fine. I'll work with the other one.
No sweat. I mean, but just keep in mind that Shaitan has a different meaning than devil, right? So Shaitan is an actual name of an angel, right? Whereas devil, so it depends on what you would be using that word for. You know what I'm saying?
Come. So you
But
saying
mhm.
like Shaitan is like so like I like the white man is the devil, but I can't say the white man is Shaitan because Shaitan is like the
that wouldn't be accurate. That wouldn't be
yeah. That's what I'm saying because
true.
Shaitan
Like you know what
like
I'm saying?
over them like they overlord
Right.
over them. Come.
Now there is an instance in the New Testament where Christ told Peter to get behind me, Satan. You know what I'm saying? In Matthew 16:23. And the word there is satanas, right? It's a Greek word. It means adversary. Okay. Okay, which is also the same word I believe in Shaitan, adversary. So it's the same. It's the same meaning. You feel what I'm saying? So hold on one second, Salaki. This is I'm getting a phone call.
Come.
Shalom, how about you? All right, Salaki about that. The water flow. All right, so the word really means adversary. Um, so in a way, I guess you could use it. Cause like when Christ used it, he was talking about Peter. Like Peter was at that time he was being adverse to Christ. Right? Christ wanted this to happen, and he was trying to prevent it. That's what it means to be adverse. Right? So you could use it in that context. I mean, I would go with more so calling him the devil. Uh, I mean, I'm not against you using it. You know what I'm saying? You can use it in that context. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not really a yes or a no for me. But I just know that Shaitan is more so like speaking about that angel and or someone who's an adversary. So yeah,
Come, sir. The water.
you there, right? You can hear me?
Yeah, come. You can hear me?
Oh shit, I know.
It's kind of buffering, sir.
Select it. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. But your screen is kind of buffering.
Oh yeah, I don't know why. All right. Hold on one second. It's still buffering to me.
Come. It's frozen
All right,
right.
as long as you can hear me. Can you see my mouse moving on the screen?
Yeah, I can see it moving, sir.
All right, yeah. You don't really need to see me. That ain't important anyway. So yeah, you do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? If you want to use your time, you can. It's not really wrong. You know what I'm saying? I would have to go and look for another word that would mean, devil, like liar. Because the reason why we call him the devil is because he's a liar. You know what I'm saying? He's a deceiver, which is what devil means. Shaitan, like I said, just means adversary. Somebody standing in the way. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other people who are adversaries, like Elam is the adversary, and Amalek. I mean, not Amalek. Ishmael, Ham. All of them are adversaries, but they in the way. You know what I'm saying? They trying to stop us from getting our rulership. You know what I'm saying? But there's one deceiver in the earth that tricked the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Lied to the entire world. So, that's why he deserves that title, devil. But you're not wrong for calling him the adversary either. So, hope that answered your question.
Con, it did. The water, sir.
Anyway. All right, so like I said, with the characters, you're gonna go ahead and write the alphabet up on the board. Like the Super Amon by Yah asked, I could barely see that question. He asked, on some history of the language, why does the Amalekites speak a whole different so-called Hebrew versus to what we are learning? Did they just make it up? In short, yes, they made it up. After I write these rest of these characters, I'll kind of explain it a little more. Wow.
Okay, sir. If there's any questions in the chat, you want me to read them for you, sir?
Yeah, you could. Wow.
No, sir. Trooper, Amon, he said also, why do some camps say Shalom instead of Shalom?
Yeah, that's another good question, and it all goes back to the first question you asked, um, where it is, Amalek basically just, started imposing his own um, structure to our language, and in doing so, he he added what's called imposed vowels, right? And the reason why he added those is for some reason, for whatever reason, he wanted to be able to sing this language, right? So if you ever seen like movies or TV shows where they're like reading the Torah and they're carrying the sound out, like that because
Salakia, so you breaking up. It's
mean
chop.
that because yeah, yeah, like it. But they do it because they because of those imposed values.
Salakia, sir. It's still choppy, sir.
Yeah. So you understand? What about now? You can hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can hear you now, sir. Last part I caught was when you said when they read the Torah and they try to like when they reading it trying to drag the sounds and stuff like that.
So when they read the Torah, if you ever watch like shows and movies, and they read the Torah, they drag out the sound because of those imposed vowels. So you know what I'm saying? One of those imposed vowels is the wa. They've added the wa, which is this character. They added this character in some places where they would pronounce the word O now. Whereas we know in Hebrew, there are no O, E, E sound or A sound. So they use characters like the wa to impose the sound O. So now instead of it being shalom, they write it this way. All right. So all right. So basically, they'll write it like this: Sha, La, Wa, and Ma. Write it like this, and the way they'll pronounce it is Shalom. You know what I'm saying? They look at
Like y'all,
Shalom. Go ahead.
it's like it's still chopping. It's still chopping up. Like you'll say
Yeah, I noticed what it is. It's whenever I write. I guess my computer ain't strong enough to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, that's the price of being in hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Our
yeah,
oppressor is the devil that God speaks of.
you sound too
So,
loud now. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
so they'll use the Shah, the La, the Wa, and the Ma, and they use that Wa to make it Shalom. And again, this is all made up. This is imposed. This is not real Hebrew. Um, they write like this, and now fake Israelites who don't have a good teacher, they'll read this and they'll throw the Y in there and pronounce it Shalom. When, for one, that's not the intention. That's not what the oppressor intended for it to be. He didn't intend for it to have a Y sound. He intended for it to have an O sound. That's why he used it. All right. And on the other hand, it doesn't even exist in the first place. It's not a real word. It's something they imposed. So the Y is not there in reality. They added the Y, and they only added it to make an O sound. And fake Israelite groups use the Y sound, and now you have Shalom. All right. That answers your question. For the reference, you can read a book called, let me see, what book is that? Uh, the Ancient Hebrew Language and Alphabet. Right? It's a book by a devil. His name is Jeff A. Benner. Right? I think that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. The Ancient Hebrew Language and Alphabet by Jeff A. Benner. All right. His writing, like what he wrote in that book, backs up exactly what I just said. And in that book, he also lets you know that the so-called modern Hebrew is not real Hebrew at all. Like scholars do not consider Amalek's Hebrew to be real Hebrew. This is why they don't even call it Hebrew. They either call it Yiddish or sometimes they call it modern Hebrew. Right? So it's not real Hebrew. It's not the Lashawan Qadash. It's not the ancient Hebrew. All right. So let's chop it up. All right. So yeah, we got A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Fa. All right. These are the characters of the Hebrew. All right. That's how you pronounce them. There's no way around it. You're not going to see any of these characters come together and make any other sound other than ah, ba, ga, da, pa, wa, za, ka, so on and so forth. All right, you're not going to add ha to a da and have hide or anything like that. You're not going to add wa to anything and make it o. Okay, anytime there's a word connecting to another word, the only thing that you'll do ever is drop off one of the a's. All right. So if the word ends with the na and the na is connected to the previous character, you know what I'm saying? You would drop off the a and na. And if it's connected to the ma, then it would be man instead of mana. All right. That's the only change you'll see. Not gonna make it moan or mean or man or man. You know what I mean? It's man. All right. The I uh, is the only exception. I is the only exception. So if you see I, right? Let's say I is in the sentence. It is connected to another character, right? Like for instance, Yahushua, our king. You have the Yah, Ha, Shalom, Mashamar, Yah, Bashim, Yasha, but the third. You have the Yah, the Ha, the Wa, the Shah, and the I, right? Yah, Ha, Wa, Shah, I. The Shah and the I are connected. So, what does that mean? You see Shah, let me write this in. It'll be a Shah and the I. There's no A here that you can remove, like we did with the Na. Oh, damn, I can't see that. Hold up. All right. So you have a Shah and an I. Okay. There's no A at the end of the I that you can remove. So you'll have to remove this one. So now, instead of it being Shai, it's Shy. All right. You only pronounce the Sh and the I. You don't pronounce the A. That's what happens anytime I is at the end of the connection. Right? Even if it's Y and the I. If it's a Y and an I connected, you only drop the A in the Y, making it Y. Okay? That's if they're connected. It wouldn't be what I, it would be Y. If it's a Ga and the I connected. Now, of course, you read them from right to left in Hebrew, but left to right in English. Go ahead.
If you could move me to the back chat, because my icon taking up like the part where you writing that is taking it
No,
up.
no, you good. You good. I just move it over.
Okay.
All right, so if you got the Y and the I together, it's Y. You got the God and the I together, it's God. All right, not God, but God. Like per God. If I had a per right here, that's supposed to be a per. All right, so it'll be per God. Okay, hope y'all understand. Does anybody not understand? Mm-hmm. If anybody else got any questions, you can put them in the chat. You got any questions, Jaheem?
I had one, but it slipped off my mind. I'll let you know when I get back to it though.
All right, no sweat. So, like I mentioned, we're going into the future tense. So actually, it was something I didn't go over last week in the past tense. I think the only thing I didn't mention was them. The them, masculine and feminine.
Question in the chat, Trooper Amon. He say Salakia, sir. We say Yahweh. Some heathen who think they deep say Yahweh. Why?
Simply because it's the same thing as the Shalom thing. It's just not having a proper teacher. You know what I mean? All right, here's what you'll find out in the truth. Um, everything that we learn, everything that we know in I.S.U.P.K has been studied by scholars and prophets. You understand? And unfortunately, on the other side of the equation, before we were, studying it for ourselves, there was our oppressor who studied it way longer than we've been here. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been studying it. Like the whole reason behind Christopher Columbus selling the ocean blue, as they say, was because he read the Bible. You know what I'm saying? He studied the Bible. He had Bible scholars with him when he voyaged the sea. So I'm saying that because the problem with what we know and what everybody else has been taught is that our oppressor tried to manipulate everyone with his understanding of the Bible. Which is why you believe that heaven is a place in the sky and hell is a place underground. It's why you believe that you're supposed to be the slave. And like, okay, like for instance, when people read that scripture where it says, "Servants obey your masters," in my mind, I'm like, why do black people just automatically put themselves in the position of servitude? Like, who says that the servants in the scripture is talking about black people? Because that's what they say. They say, oh, it's talking about slavery. It's talking about black people having to obey their slave masters. Well, who said it had to be you that was the slave? You get what I'm saying? Like our whole inception of the Bible is based off of what we learn from white people. Yeah, I can say white people. It's based off of what we learn from white people. You understand? Rather than actually studying it and learning for ourselves. All right. So when people say Yahweh, it's partly because they understand Amalek's Hebrew. Right? They studied Amalek's version of the Hebrew, and so that's part of the reason. Again, you got Yah and Way. Like, where's the way? Where's the A sound in what we just went over? It's not there because it's another imposed vowel. All right. Some people say Jehovah because that's what's written in the Bible. The Bible, when they translated it into English, it was written Jehovah or Jah. You understand? Amalek took it and wrote Yah, because at least that's correct. The Yah is only translated to Jah because the letter J was now part of their language. So they used the Yah sound and replaced it with J. So they'll say Jah or Jehovah, and then some people say Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? It's simply because, like, you understand when you watching Cross the Line Radio and people call into the radio show and they say, "Hey, Shalom," and brothers just say, "Hey, Shalom, how can I help you?" Like, it's not a big deal. You just ignorant. There's nothing wrong with being ignorant. Ignorant just means you don't know. All right. And if you're willing to learn, then we'll teach you. But we're not gonna have a debate over it. We're not about to fight. And now you're not my brother no more because you call the Most High's name Yahweh. That's between you and him. Now, if you want to learn something, then let me teach you. But other than that, that's all it is. We're just ignorant. We don't know any better. You know what I mean? So yeah. That being said, I don't think I have I don't think I have the actual. I don't know if I have the past tense for him or them. I think, or maybe was it present tense? I think it might have been present tense. All right, so I'll put this up. Put it present tense. Okay. All right. So as we learned before, when you're doing present tense, future tense, or past tense, you do what's called verb conjugation. All right, I'll write it right here. Verb conjugation. All right, and with verb conjugations, before you can conjugate a verb, you must first you have to find your subject pronoun. All right, this step right here is very important. Keep this in mind. You have to always find your subject pronoun first before you can start conjugating the verb. Why? Because your verb conjugation is going to dictate based on what your subject pronoun is. So, for instance, some subject pronouns are words like I or I am. All right, you, us, them. You understand? These are subject pronouns. These are your subject pronouns. These are the words that are going to structure your sentence. Right? Who? This is the who. All right. So if I have a verb like run, this is the verb. The subject pronoun would be I. I run. Damn, my bad. I keep forgetting. I run would be subject pronoun. I, and then run is your verb. And everybody understand? You understand, James?
On concert.
Right. So before you can make a verb conjugation, first you have to find your subject pronoun. Once you have your subject pronoun, now you can begin forming your sentence. All right. So in this case, our subject pronoun is going to be them, which is him, Salaki, which is hum, or they, not them, but they. So hum, right, is they.
Lucky. So with
Right?
so with Hebrew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just so like say there could be like, well, I don't want to give a number, but I'm gonna just give out a random number, right? So say there's
Mm-hmm.
like 20 words, right? And like each word could have like 1,000 different meanings. It just depends on the context to know what it's talking about.
Yeah, yeah, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? To make it easier to understand, um, yeah, you have to know what the sentence is based on. All right, so you could have a word that has different meanings, right? Like hum. Hum has two meanings, right? Hum is they if it's being used as a conjugation, as a subject pronoun. All right. The only way you'll probably know that hum is the subject pronoun is if it's going before a verb. Right? This would be a verb yalak. All right. Yalak. Let's see. Let's put it right. Do this over. Hum, Yalak. All right. Yalak. Yalak. Which means I go. I'm sorry, not I, they. They go. All right. Is they. Yalak is go. So if I see this there, and I know what this word means, I know yalak means go. I know that it's a verb. And if I know it's a verb, then contextually and grammatically, there has to be a subject pronoun before the verb. You understand? So, or uh, or it could be, this word could be by itself. Go. You know what I'm saying? So it's really based off of how you read the sentence. Like if you're looking at the sentence, reading the sentence will help you understand what the word means. But I don't think you'll ever see they used by itself.
So
You know what I'm
lucky.
saying? At least not in this way. Go ahead.
So a subject pronoun is like it's always a sentence starter, basically.
No. Okay. Yeah, if it's used for a verb conjugation. Mm-hmm. So if it's going to use a verb like yalak, then you'll know that that then it'll use it'll use a subject pronoun. All right, but it's not always going to be at the beginning of a sentence. All right, so you might be into a sentence, and then the conjugation comes into play. Like the sentence might be let me see, like form the sentence. Okay, okay, the word might be a car ya ibad and ya lock. All right. So I'm gonna write it right here so that you can see what I'm saying. All right. So if I was to say, I'm gonna write it in English just so you can see what I'm talking about. A car. Uh, Put it like this. Ibad, yeah. All right. A car ibad ya anya yalak. A car ibad ya anya yalak. All right. What do you notice about this sentence?
You said, what do I notice about this sentence?
Yeah.
Um, hmm,
As far as the subject pronoun and verb.
oh no, sir.
I know that. So anya would be my subject pronoun. Right? This is my subject pronoun. Yalak is my verb. But where is it at on the sentence? It's
I,
after these
I,
two words.
uh,
Right? So a car is an adverb. It's an adverb which means after. All right. A car means after. Ibadio. What is ibadio?
that's not bought. I bought mean like serving or something.
Right. Servitude, work. Ya would be the pronoun. It'd be it'd be it's possessive pronoun. All right. So Yah is a possessive pronoun, which means my. So let's talk about my work, or my service, or my servitude. Basically, what I'm saying is after my job or after my work, I go. Okay? After my work, I know it's kind of confusing to read, but that's what it said. After my work, I go. So it's not necessarily like the subject pronoun is not necessarily going to start the sentence, but it is going to be the start of your conjugation. So it's going to be yeah and then your verb. And in whatever case you're using, if it's past tense and present tense, you'll have to add characters in here to make it a conjugation. Right now, this is not a conjugation. Right? This is just a subject pronoun and a verb. Right? But once I start adding characters like wa, right? So if I was to add the wa
Yeah.
right here, huh?
Now I was saying Yahweh.
Yeah, that would lock. What would that become? What kind of tense? What is this past tense, future tense, or present tense? That would lock.
Yahweh. That should be
Mm-hmm.
past, right?
Nah,
That,
present.
present.
But good guess though, right? Yahweh lock with present tense words, the the conjugation goes right after the first character and like before the first and second. I mean, in between the first and second character. So if I was to write it here, this is the root word, lock, and what I would do, I would just add the Y here. Now it's Yah Warlock, making it present tense. Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
so if we have a word, right? Just like how you have
Mm-hmm.
your lot, and if you put Y in between of the word, that will make it. Will it always be present tense, or just in some,
For present tense, mm-hmm. Go
or in
ahead.
some cases?
Yeah, it's in some cases. So like that's why having the subject, knowing your subject pronoun, that's what's going to help you know what character to put there. All right, but in most cases though, it's going to be a Y for the present tense. In most cases, I don't think there's many instances where it's a different one. That's why I didn't want to say that it's always, but like you for sure, and anytime you conjugating, the most important part is your subject pronoun because that's going to determine whether what kind of character you use, whether it's past tense, present tense, or future tense. But for majority of the time, when you're using conjugations for present tense words, majority of the time it's going to be Y. But I can't say every single time.
So what word, or yeah, what word in between will make it past tense, if that's the case?
Okay, so in past tense, it's a totally different process. So past tense, let me get that for you real quick. All right, so for instance, right, when you're using past tense words, the conjugation would go at the end, right? And depending on what your subject pronoun is, You can see that, right? Hold up. All right. So for a the, which is you, you're going to use uh. You're going to use the at the end. All right. All right. For the, you use the at the end. For anya, which is I, you're going to use a ya at the end. Okay. For hawa'a, which means he, which is these are all subject pronouns, by the way. So the, anya, hawa'a, so on and so forth. These are subject pronouns. And every time you use a subject pronoun, it's going to change the character used for the conjugation. All right. So for hawa'a, you're not going to do anything. All right. So you do nothing to the verb to make it conjugated. All right. Ya'a, you add y at the end, which is she. And then use at the end. All right. So now that's just a few examples. So you want to keep in mind that all of these subject conjugations are based on the subject pronoun, and it's only going to occur when there's a verb. All right. So if you're talking about the verb, it's only going to happen to the verb. So when I say use at the end, you're using at the end of a verb. So yalak for you would turn into yalak the. For I would be yalak the ya. For he, you would do nothing. It would be yalak. Haya'a, it would be yalak ha. You get what I'm saying? Because yalak is our verb, and um, the the anya, the hawa'a, the haya'a, these are subject pronouns. Follow me?
Come, sir.
All right, so
So,
it's different for each one. You want me to give you all of them?
you don't got to. I was just asking a question for a little better understanding. So when you
You know what I'm
say
saying?
so like yeah, go ahead.
So okay, do you have these in your notes though? Like if you don't have them now, give them to you.
I believe you had taught a class last time. I gotta find my notes, right? But
I
I
said
have them. I
if you
got
need me
them
to
in
give
my
them to you, I got you.
like you said. Go ahead.
No, I said if you need me to give them to you, I got you.
All right, you can, sir. Go on.
You know, so I'm gonna put them right here on the board. All right, so you're gonna add ha at the end of the verb for haya'a. Now, here's the rule on that. If the word already ends with the ha, you don't have to add another ha. All right. Hope everybody can see that. Maybe I need to make it a little bigger. All right. Where it ends with the ha already, then you don't have to add another
Mm.
Okay. All right. For a knock novel, it's us. We use Nawa at the end. For a thumb, you use thumb at the end. All right. So you're gonna
Salak.
start. So you're go ahead.
So with how Yaha, that's how you say it, sir.
Say
How
again.
with he, let's say how
Yeah. How will I?
um
So
so
yeah.
why don't you use anything like that?
Well, that's just. I'm not sure. That's just the rule.
So
Yeah. That's just part of the rule. You don't do anything. All right. Um. So for example, right? If you were writing a sentence, I'm writing in Hebrew, and you're using, let's say, Haya'a for sheep, right? You got Ha, Ya, Ah. Okay. Haya'a is your subject pronoun. Which means she. Okay. And you have your verb, right? What would be, what would you use? A nakal. Yeah, I think I'll use nakal. Is it nakal or a call? All right, a call is eat. We're going to add a ha at the end. So now it's a call her. All right, a call her. This is our verb. This is our root verb. All right, and this will be our conjugation. All right, a call means eat, and because we added the ha at the end, which is the format for writing a past tense word, selected, right? Past tense. No,
yeah,
I'm
past
not
tense.
sure. Am I? Right. So yeah, past tense verb, right? So that means that she ate, right? So instead of eat, it now becomes ate. She ate, all
Mm-hmm.
right? How ya I call her. She ate, past tense. You know what I'm saying? So now you can replace the conjugation. I mean, you can replace the subject pronoun and the conjugation and keep this same root verb, and it'll still mean the same thing with a different subject pronoun. If you want it to be I ate, you would, instead of haya you would write anya, right? Anya, a call the or the ya, all right? Anya, a call the ya. I'll write the picture. This one is it. An ya, a call the ya. Anya, a call the ya. Now it's I ate. All right.
Con.
Do this as many times as you want to. A knock, no. Now it's a knock, no. Is we or us or our. We, a call. No, is we ate. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that simple. The same root word, same root verb, different subject pronoun, different conjugation.
Con.
All right. So let's go back all the way up to where we began. Okay. Oh, with that being said, now let's go into the right. I don't think I want to erase that.
Oh, I had another question. So with
Go ahead.
the word hum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why in this case where hum is used as they, but when ham is used as like the Africans, like
Mm-hmm.
why is like the pronunciation like change?
Okay, yeah, that I'm glad you mentioned it. I meant to, that's also what I meant to go over. All right, so you got hum, which is they, right? When you use it in the proper context, it means they, like we were just talking about, right? Hum. All right. Then you have another hum. So like this. Hum, right? Which is what? The nation, the people, the African people, right?
Con.
That's spelled like this. This is the English pronunciation for hand, right? This is this is how it's spelled. This is the word hand. This is the African. Calm, right? Like Kham is hand, the African nation. And then you have hum, which is used as a possessive pronoun, which means they as well, or them. The difference is this goes at the end, always. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you want to use it, no matter what context it's in, if you're using it as a possessive pronoun, right, it's going to be at the end. That's what possessive pronouns go.
Wait,
Right?
what's gonna be at the end? At the end, ham gonna be at the end.
Hum.
Um, Salash.
So this is a subject pronoun. I mean a possessive pronoun. I should say. This is a possessive pronoun. And this is going to be at the end of a word if you're using it as a possessive pronoun. Okay? Now, this word could be a subject pronoun. Right? So that means that it's going to be, it could be used by itself. The same exact character, same exact word, means the same exact thing, but it can be used by itself. So you start off a word by just saying hum. Now you start off it doesn't have to be the beginning of the sentence, but it can be. Hum will be your subject pronoun, meaning they. Then you continue your sentence. They ate, right? Yeah, your lot hum. You know what I mean? Hum, your lot hum. They ate. Okay? Or, for instance, let's see. Okay, I got it. So boom, it will be all right. So this is present tense, right? Hum yawalakyan. All right, what does this mean? They are eating. Why did I add a yun at the end? Because the yun goes with hum whenever you're subjugating hum as a present tense, but it still has the wa. All right, so that's the only thing that changes with the conjugating of that verb. Right, Yawalak. Yalak is the verb. I'm sorry, this is go. All right, they are going. All right, so if I put Yalak, that's just they go, but I have to conjugate it to make it either present tense, past tense, or future tense. In order to make it present tense, I'm going to add my wa between the first and second character of this root word, and then add yun at the end. Right?
So would the yuns be like substituting for the hum?
Basically. But don't look at it like that, right? Just think of it like it's a different word. Like this Yahweh Yun is just a different word in present tense, right? So it's not Yalak Hum, it's not Yalak Yun or whatever. It's a different word. It has the same meaning, but it's like just look at it like this is a different term. Like this is how I know this is present tense because it's Yahweh Yun. All right. For let me see, for the feminine version, right? So if we was to say hun, so hum is they masculine or from coming from a position of authority. Right? Hun is feminine or subservient for them. Right? Now hun will still be Yah, Wa, Lak, but instead of Yun, it will now become Wa. Damn, I wrote Yun. It's supposed to be Yum. I apologize. Salakia. Yum. Yahweh Yum. Forgive me. All right, they are going masculine. Han is Yahweh Wa. They are going feminine. Okay, so here it's Yum, here it's Wa. For instance, here's an easy way to remember this. Ak Yum is brothers. Right? Ak Wa. Wa Yun is sisters. Okay, this is adding. This is making it feminine. Right?
So like,
Mm-hmm.
so what can you not is would it not be a word if you remove the yun and leave it as aqua, or that would just
Ak Wa would, yeah, that would just make it sister.
come.
So if I take off Yun, it would just be sister, singular. Aqua. Ak Yum. If I take off the Yum, it would just be Ak, which is brother. So the Wak is just making Ak feminine. Instead of like it's the same meaning. Ak, these both have the same meaning. Right? Look at it like it's your relative, your brother. You know what I'm saying? Someone related to you. This is someone related to you, and this is someone related to you who's a female. You understand?
Oh God.
It's that simple. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. Like that's the beauty of Hebrew is that it's simple. Like the only reason why we even have to explain it this way is because English exists. Because we speak English. If this is our first language, right? If we only spoke Hebrew, we would just know that Ak is really just it just means relative. It just means someone in my family, like a brother or a sister, as we would translate it today. This is my Ak. Okay, but my wife is the same type of person, except it's a woman. It's a feminine person. Mm-hmm. It's a subservient person, like aqua. That's it. We kind of got to get our minds out of knowing English. Like if you learned this as a baby, you wouldn't need to understand. I wouldn't have to translate it as brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? you just know from experience. Like you when you're talking about an ak, talking about somebody who's related to you. You don't even have to. It only has to change because it's a woman. Is another example is like when we say hmm. All right, so like if a brother says to another brother, Shalom Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah, right? And then the sister says it, she says the same thing you say, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah, right? But if we say it to a woman, then it's Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bahashem Yahweh Shah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, to make it
It's
feminine.
like it's yeah, just to make it feminine for them. It's not necessary for us. We just say like a thun. Like when we're saying a thun, that's talking about it's the same word as a thumb, which is you all, which is the plural version of a tha, which is you. I don't need to change a tha if I'm talking to a female. It's just you, a tha. But if I'm talking to multiple females, then I have to change it to a thun and not a thumb with an M. I can change it to a thun with an N for females. Even though a thumb, I could be talking to everybody. I could be talking to a group of people, men and women, right? And if I say a thumb, I'm not wrong. But if I'm addressing sisters specifically, then I would have to say a thun because they're feminine. You make sense?
Gone.
Mm-hmm. If I'm saying it to everybody, it's just, it could be very generic. A thumb, rock a thumb. I'm saying bless all of y'all. But if I'm speaking to sisters specifically, which is why we usually do speak to sisters specifically, and we say, all right, sisters, yeah, how, Barakathun, you know what I mean? Which is bless you. But to sisters, I could just leave it at bless y'all, bless all y'all, and just say a Barakathum, you know what I'm saying? But just to be formal and to be, you know, uh, uh, to be respectful or whatever, I'm gonna take my time and say it to the sisters as well. Barakathun. You know what I'm saying? Barakathun wa Barakathun. All right. So where was I? Right. Okay. So yeah, that I hope that explains the whole ham thing. Ham is not the same word as hum. You know, don't. I know that's easy one to get confused. I used to get confused a lot too. Uh, Actually, I didn't really get confused a lot, but when I first heard about it, I was like, yeah, that could be confusing because ham is an English word. Ham is an English word, not Hebrew. Hum is a Hebrew word, and it has a different meaning than chum. Chum means hot. That's what chum means hot. All right. Um, Noah just so happened to name one of his sons hot for whatever reason. For whatever reason he chose, he said Ham was hot, and now it's so prophetic. You niggas over there in Africa looking hot as hell, ashy as hell. You know what I mean? So it was prophetic. The niggas definitely hot and sweaty and stinky. But that's hum. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
Whereas hum is they. Go ahead. Yeah, another question?
lost.
Yeah. All right, now back to the present tense, right? Or what we doing? Future tense. We're gonna do future tense. I don't think I have the. Let's see. I got hun. Did I do a knock Noah? All right, so knock Noah.
Go. You did.
No, for present tense. I think I did it for past tense or something. Like we put it up for present tense. So for present tense, word for anak nawa. All right, let's see. Nak nawa is your subject pronoun. Okay, anak nawa is the subject pronoun. If we use the same word yalak, right? In present tense, you have ya, wa, lak, yum as well. All right. But the only thing that changed this time, so when we use uh, yum for they, we use hum, yawalakim. Now the only thing that's going to change is the subject pronoun itself, anak nawa. Right, so now it's anak nawa yawalak yum. Okay, which means we are going. All right, we are going, we are leaving. You know what I'm saying? That's what it means. Ya anak nawa yawalaki. We are going. Okay? The yum is like it's almost you can almost look at it like pluralizing. Okay. So that's all the present tense. Right. You can go into future tense. Okay, for future tense, it's the same thing. You gotta find your subject pronoun before conjugating the verb. So what's the subject pronoun we're going to use? The first one is going to be yeah. Yeah, which means I or I am. Right? And yeah, and for anya, you're going to add ah. But this time it's going to go at the beginning. The beninging, like the African said. The African said beninging. In the beninging. Right? Add ah at the beginning. Okay? So let's say the word is yalak. You're gonna keep yalak, right? So instead of writing just yalak, You'll add an I at the beginning, which makes it Ayalak. Anya Ayalak. Okay? Which means I am going. Well, wait, hold up. I will go.
Doesn't your lock only mean go?
Yes. I will. And Yalak makes it future tense, meaning I will go. Right? So I is Anya. Ayalak is will go. Anya Ayalak. Ata, which means what?
You.
You. You're going to add the at the beginning. Now it becomes the Yalak. Which means you will go. Okay. I can tell one more because it's already 9:01. So just for now, we'll get the last one to be Hawa'a. Means he. All right. So he. Wow. So he, you add ya at the beginning.
You gotta move the screen up a little bit, sir.
Okay. And to make it ya yalak. All right. Ya yalak means he will go. Okay. Add ya at the beginning, and now it becomes he will go. Right? So that's how you use future tense sentence structure. Okay. Find your subject pronoun, and then you add the proper characters in their proper positions. In this case, you will be adding to the beginning, and whatever the character is based on that subject pronoun. Right? Add ya at the beginning to make it he will go. Ya, yawala. Wait, sorry. Hawa, yawala. What's that at the beginning? Hawa, yalak is he will go. Okay. Ata, yalak is you will go. Anya, anya, yalak is I will go. Okay. Hope everybody understands. Hope I didn't confuse y'all too much. I was tripping a little bit. But, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all got the idea. And so with that, man, you got any questions?
Nah, sir, that's the water.
All right, you wrote all that down. You need time to write this down, or you got it?
Oh, nah, so like I took screenshots of it. I got it on my phone, so when I could just
Oh,
write
okay,
it
yes,
down
sir.
on. Yeah.
All right, definitely, you definitely want to write it down because that's what gives you that like muscle memory or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Writing it down will help you remember. So definitely, when
Come,
you get a chance, just write it down. Actually put it in your notes. And you know what I'm saying? What you
come,
should do is write these things a few times. Write these things down a few times. Make flashcards if you can, and just write these things down like daily. What you learn in here, you use it daily, and that'll help you retain it so that you remember these things. Now you can start. Now once you start actually remembering some of these things, you can start forming your own sentences. You know what I'm saying? So with that,
sir.
man, all right, I'm gonna shoot y'all out. The water for joining us. This has been the Lashawan Qadash class, the Hebrew class of the I.S.U.P.K. With that, man, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah to all the brothers, which means uh, um, it's like Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah to all the brothers, which means, the Most High in Christ's name bless you. And Yahweh Shemar done by Shem Yahweh Shah to all the sisters, which means Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. All right. So, shalom. I'll catch y'all
Shalom.
next week. All right.
That's
All right. All right, brother.